So, we are talking. First of all, did you get something out of this, or this review, or at least are you confused in a higher way, or something? It's really important if you're going to be confused in a higher way. Uh, well, there are many rays, and I think that Master DK has been very practical. He's maybe talked about the rays we can handle because of where this is all insignificant. He talked about the rays we can handle at our present stage of development. And he's hinted at other things that as we begin to increase our subtlety of consciousness will be applicable to us. So he's hinted at the sub-ray of the soul and the various ashrams, 49 of which will one day be developed, but they aren't now. There's 4 in the 6th ray group of ashrams and 2 or a few in the 3rd ray group and none in the 1st ray group. He didn't talk about the 4th ray group. If anybody remembers this differently from me, please let me know. But I remember that there were 4 subsidiary 6th ray ashrams. 6 of this, 6 of that, 6 of that, and so forth. Probably found among the idealists and the churchgoers and all that, or those groups that work where Master Jesus visits them now and then. He hints at that, certain high prelates in the Anglican Church in those days. But in the 2nd ray group, almost every one of the 7 is developed. There's one that's not quite, he doesn't say what it is. So in almost every group I visited, I did suggest I did suggest that you should think about the sub-ray of your soul, which is not your personality ray. The personality, now watch every A and every the that DK gives you. Because DK tells you that the personality ray is a sub-ray of the soul. Watch the article. Is it an A or is it a the? He didn't say it's the sub-ray of the soul. So there's more than one. Just the way as I hypothesize it, we have a couple of monadic options on the top of the chart, one of them being the major monadic ray, which has to be 1, 2, or 3, and otherwise 7 monadic choices. And I can verify that, I think so. So we're only looking at half the picture as we decide. And you say, well, why am I like that? And why am I like that? Well, not everything that you are is coming through, because our alignment is not sufficient for it all to come through. But remember, he tells us that the monad basically conditions the etheric body. And there's a direct relation to the monad and the astral body. And oftentimes when he's trying to find out what your monadic ray is, he looks at your physical body. So we're only playing with half a deck here. And we're intuiting and inferring our way into a clearer, more rational, reasonable ray structure and trying to work with that in a way that will be serviceable and helpful and which makes sense. We're not going to have all the answers. It's just like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. Many, many little pieces, they start to come together and you begin to see the whole gestalt, So, with astrology, there's so much more certainty than there is in rayology. But rayology is a higher science in a way. As I've said to some, the entire 3rd ray gives us the science of astrology. But the 2nd ray gives us the science of the 2nd of the 7 rays. I don't know what the 1st ray science will be, but we have the 12, the 7, and maybe just the 3 finally on the 1st ray, because 3 are 1 and 1 is 3. And when you look at the charts, you will see that on the 2nd plane you have 7, and on the 1st plane you have 3. So 3 and 1 are found together, and when it comes to the number 2, 7 is a very important number. Well, anyway, there's all kinds of things to be said about that. What's important is that we feel a little clearer about what our structure is, and we get the feedback from other people who say, oh, you just couldn't be, like that. You know, of course, they can be wrong and you can be right. That's the point. So, you know, it's not like you ever should believe anybody when they tell you what your rays are, but their feedback can be of value. It can be interesting at least. And gradually, when you're just about to go off to the other side, you'll say, oh, I've got my ray structure. Okay, too late. All right, but maybe some of the rays will stay the same and you'll get another chance. So for right now, it's a big mystery. It's a big puzzle, trying to put it all together. But it's going to become clearer and clearer. And, you know, like Keith was saying the other day, DK didn't give it all to us. We have to work to get it. Whatever it is, we have to work to get it. That's how we learn something, right? So it'd be so satisfying. Oh, I wish the master would tell me my rays and I'd never have to think again. You know, so that would be fatal, of course. You know, he did give the rays to those people, but he did force them in many ways to keep thinking. So so we observe, we think, we intuit, and we persist. And tomorrow, have we reached the point where we're thinking about tomorrow? Yes. Well, I want to give you a homework assignment. The assignment. That's it, assignment. Okay. Oh, that's a nice phrase. I'll save it for the last. I'd like you to go home tonight, go into the bathroom. Does it sound good? Close the door behind you and look in the mirror. Okay? I know that's an anticlimax, I'm sorry. But anyway, just look in the mirror and stare at that image a little bit and see what it is you see as if you were looking at someone else. You know, it's not you anymore. It's an object. It's a form. You're practicing spiritual reading. So, you maybe make notes or whatever. Look at your eyes. Look at your eyebrows. Look at your nose. Look at your ears. Look at your mouth. Look at your chin. Look at your neck. Look at your shoulders. Don't forget the cheek. Be cheeky. Look at your cheeks. Okay, look at that for you especially. Okay, look at your jaw. Put down what you see. What do you see? What do these forms hint at? When you see this particular form, you know, artists are very good at this because they can bridge between the two worlds. They know there's a divine inner pattern and there's an outer form, and they can read the outer form and get the divine inner pattern. What qualities do you see because of the lines, the direction, the composition of your face? That's what, and study it as if you're studying someone else. Don't get personal about it. Don't worry about what you see. If you see a line of cruelty, say so. If you see something that looks a little idiotic, say so. There are many things you can see. If there's benevolence coming out around your eyes here with these smile lines, if you're intense and you're frowning, you know, and you're drawing everything to the center of your forehead, what does it tell you about yourself, you see? If you're lifting your chin, if you're lowering your head, if your eyes are shifting back and forth, well, everything is a clue. Everything is a clue. You know, this is the fifth grade work. It's all a clue. And we're not interested in the form for its own sake, but the form for the quality that it represents. And so you are becoming the scientific student of facial form, okay? And there are other parts, of course, you know. Everything counts. How you walk and whether you swing your arms or how you move your fingers, or it all counts, every bit. But just start with the face and the neck. And spend 10 minutes and take notes. What do you see? And that's all. That's very easy to do, isn't it? Very easy to do. Maybe it'll be the first time you really looked at your face in this way. Is your forehead corrugated? Is it serene? You know, are your eyebrows slanting benevolently down, or like the Munsters up? You know, I mean, you know, James Davis did a lot of work on this in San Diego. Do you have tented eyebrows like this? You know? Do you have a widow's peak coming down with your, like this? Are you losing your hair in front? Or just back here? Are your earlobes thick? Or are they not? Are they attached to your head? Or are they out here flapping? Or do you have those long Buddha earlobes that drop down to your shoulders? Well, you know, you know, it's a joke, but it's not a joke. So study everything. Everybody's a book. Everybody's a book with 10,000 pages. And just look at yourself in that way and see what you see. According to your own intuition, according to what you know of human nature, just write it down. That's a very easy assignment, right? Very easy assignment. Are there any questions about that? Or why one might have us do that? Do you have a look of concern on your face, or are you serene? You know? Are you smiling for the wrong reason? Why? Okay, you know, just whatever you see. It's fun. It could be fun. You know, then tomorrow we'll see what others see, right? Because everybody, you know, you may see yourself in one way, but other people, they're going to see it entirely differently, and we give ourselves reflection and feedback and all that. And so often, you know, when we're looking at people, we can't see our face. And they can see it. And we don't know what we're reflecting to them at all. So, you know, it takes all of us to arrive at who each one of us is. Is that clear? Are there any comments or questions? Yes, Annabelle, yes. Just for yourself. Just for yourself, yeah. Basically, that's it. You've got nice eyebrows there. It's kind of... Well, you know, the line of the eyebrows is very interesting. You know, and James Davis did wonderful work on this, you know, talking about the hard line eyebrows and the soft line eyebrows, you know. And I realize we rearrange our eyebrows in various ways, of course, you know, just for artistic, you know, to come closer to our ideal of what we think we should look like. Are the eyebrows thin? We discovered something, or are they bushy? We discovered something. I can show you some. We're going to show you some eyebrows. Yeah. I'll tell you. And they carry a lot of Mars-Pluto power. Some of these eyebrows, just can't believe it. And but anyway, I don't want to, you know, tell the punchline to the joke. Okay. So you have to wait till tomorrow. But you know, you'll be looking at people in a new way. And my son came, and I introduced him to a friend and said, "This is Matthew, this is Eva. Now what do you see, Eva?" So she just had to, "What do you see?" And she nailed two of them. She got two. Three. Oh, see, I don't want to take away from you. She nailed three. Okay, she nailed three. Maybe missed one, but let's keep humility here. But you know, it's not that it's easy to do, but some people are very pronounced types. Other people are more blended in, and it's harder to see, but you'll see that there's something there, that nothing is by accident, and that the builders who are building the form build according to certain laws correlated with the astrological factors. That's what you probably will see. So that should be fun, right? Give yourself time. Don't be too sleepy. A sleepy face and a wide awake face look different. So, you know, go home and do this right away and make notes. Is there anything that any one of the teachers would like to say? Looked like you were having a good time. Thought it was interesting. That's it? So let's just have our mantram of the New Group of World Service. Oh, 9 o'clock. So come, you know, obviously come a little bit before 9 so we can have an on-time start. We'll start with rheology in the morning. We'll do astrology in the afternoon. But you can never really separate the two. Yes, Mar.
Is there a meditation in the morning?
Yes, little one. Yes. No. It'll be 9 o'clock here. Little alignment, you know. No, the 7 o'clock meditations begin when the conference begins. On Thursday morning is the first 7 o'clock in the morning meditation. If you'd like it to be earlier, we can arrange it. Okay. So, we all know this mantram. We'll begin with 1 Om. We'll do the mantram, and then we'll close with 1 Om. Okay? one life, pour through the group of all true servers. May the love of the one soul characterize the lives of all who seek to aid the great ones. May we fulfill our part in the one work through self-forgetfulness, harmlessness, and right speech. We'd all like to thank you for coming, and have a good night's sleep and do your assignment. We'll see you at 9:05 tomorrow morning.